It is time for Persona 5 again. We are still between targets, having dealt with the Madarame problem. We've been introduced to the next target, whose name I've already forgotten, so his reveal will be a surprise again. But for now, it's just kind of getting done what we can get done and waiting for Ryuji to do more stupid crap until a new target basically falls into our lap. It's night, right? I can leave at night now. Okay, what I really probably ought to do... I don't know if I've replaced the lockpicks that we used.
Hey!
Exploring Mementos is probably a good option right now. We could do Mementos.
Okay.
I can make 5. Wow. Okay, so I can also make this stuff now that we've learned about this. Vanish Ball. Guarantees escape from battle. Not all battles apply. Okay, a stun gun, air cannon. I've got 5 lockpicks already and I can only make 1.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm actually not going to make anything right now. Rocket with the raid! Thank you so much,
Whatever.
Rocket. How are you?
Pass me a sensu bean. What do you think? I'm just
Here's your jalapeno bean.
Fix, you're amazing.
Because I'm not.
That's Sweden's flag. Yeah, you know what? You get one freaking...
I can stun the ladies.
You get the name of one country wrong, and then suddenly it becomes a whole thing. Oh, I see what you called the emote. Might as well keep the companion stuff rolling since we're here. How can I keep that companion thing going? I don't have the guts for it. What up, Arky? Yeah, I saw you were on to Abby's section. How's that going for you? I also heard that loud exclamation that you gave a few minutes ago. Something surprised you clearly. You again? Yep. Oh, I might have the guts for this now. My guts is leveled up. Okay. I want to talk about the bag. I can ask him if I had dauntless guts. Okay, fine. So I can't keep that going. Is this the only thing we've got here? I think it is. Yep. Okay. Well, let's head back to the coffee shop and we can keep things going with Sajiro. Are you sure? By the way, Fix, congratulations for wrapping up Season 1 of Fixer's Heavy Metal History. It was really good. I was about to close up shop and go home. You don't need to help. It'd be a pain if he dropped by again. Well, I don't have time to deal with him anyway. Looks like there's still a problem with the man who stopped by earlier. Wait until he settles things. Oh, I can't do anything with him. Well, let's clean the place.
Well then.
Your kindness may improve a little bit. Yeah, let's do it. Ooh. Well, I'd certainly appreciate that. I'm going home now. Don't break anything in the store, got it?
Nice.
Yep. Yep, blah, 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 blah.
That should do it for now.
It would be kind of cool if things sparkled after you cleaned them. 1 point of kindness. I probably should have gone to work instead.
Hey.
Longer than I expected. We should go to bed once we clean up the rest. Yep, blah, blah, blah. 16.8% believe in the Phantom Thieves. Yeah. I know a good part-time job. Yeah, everybody. I'm actually a Phantom Thief. Want to go grab some coffee? That's not a good pickup line. Try again. Oh, it's raining.
I'm hot.
Are we there yet? It's hard to breathe in here. Now for today's train news. Today's headlines are... the same crap it's always been.
What's this? A request to the student body.
You said that really slowly. Do you not know how to read?
It says they're looking for information. I heard Principal Kobayakawa put it up. Please consult the Student Council President if you have any details.
So we can go to her for anything?
Well, anything sounds like quite a stretch.
Why the Student Council President, though? What does she have to do with Principal Kobayakawa?
Obviously, she's acting as its representative. Use your brains, people!
I mean, Nijima-san is his favorite. Maybe that's why he asked her to do it.
Do it.
How tragic.
It seems like most of society was surprised about what that artist did. He was someone who represented Japan. They probably trusted him based on his name alone. Indeed, we're easily manipulated by the names we see. However, this world is filled with fake names. I mean, technically all names are made up, so... For instance, this creature, which you know well. It's called the Red King Crab, but it has a form that a crab should not have. Gilly, look at this picture.
Give it a try.
The Red King Crab is biologically related to the hermit crab. So how is it different from a crab? Do you know? Don't crabs have 8 legs? I feel like it's the number of legs. I'm tossing around ideas first. That's great. That's great. The number of legs. I was right. Okay.
This is it. That's it.
Yeah. Crabs have 5 pairs of legs, but the red king crabs only have 4 pairs. This is worth stats. You better believe I'm cheating on these. Unless I know it 100%, I'm definitely cheating on these. The directions the leg unfold is reversed too. Typically they face forward, but red kings do not.
Nice going!
Knowledge. Cheater. Incidentally, the tamale... I'm not familiar with that word. Of a crab isn't its brain, as some people say. It's actually the crab's liver and pancreas. As you can see, the world is full of deception. I saw some kind of paste like that in the fridge at LeBlanc, but it's not often you see real crab meat. Hey, why don't we get sushi for our next celebration? Morgana likes to think with his stomach. Her name did spread a bit thanks to Madarame. But I bet people still wouldn't care if we came out and said we're the Phantom Thieves. I'm not so sure. I doubt anyone would believe us. But what good would come of telling people our identities? Maybe they'd at least start treating us with some respect. Well, I can understand why you feel that way. That's just how things are now. But if we keep doing stuff like this, that will definitely change. We simply need to devote ourselves to the cause. Our praise will come later. What he said! I'm sure some people out there will understand, but some of them will very much not. I guess we just gotta act like modest heroes for now. Is there a reason we had to have this conversation during class? Practicing hard. Should we tell Miss President? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Student council, what's going on? Wish I were an honor student. I don't have to pay tuition. That is 100% up to you.
President, what is the meaning of that posting?
Principal Kobayakawa put that up without my... We've already received some anonymous information. I heard some students are getting threatened. I'm so scared. Please do something.
I have never heard of a student council president actually being referred to with the title president. Well, hopefully Dustin doesn't set everything on fire making a grilled cheese sandwich again. Or making a salad. My favorite Sims burning the house down experiences are ones where they set the house on fire making a salad.
What?
They have dirt on me and they're demanding money? I can't go to the police, what should I do? Isn't this talking about the crimes that have been rumored to be occurring in Shibuya?
So there are even victims at our school. What should we do?
This isn't the responsibility of the student council. This is frightening for us too. Principal Kobayakawa called you in yesterday, right? Did he tell you anything about this?
He kind of admitted culpability.
Well, no. He's out today, but I will ask him tomorrow. Please wait on this for the time being.
If you say so.
My apologies for the confusion. Don't worry. I'll do something about all of this. Hey!
Okay, if we keep this up, I'm sure we'll get more supporters. But first, we need a new target. I hope we can find a good one. I have some new info. Apparently, there's a group of burglars terrorizing Shibuya. From what I hear, they only target restaurants and break in after they close for the day. Someone online was asking if it was the work of the Phantom Thieves. Just reading that got me really pissed off. We can't let people lump you guys in with petty thieves, right? Yeah, perhaps putting thieves in the name wasn't the smartest idea. Just forget about it. Hearing that just makes it bother me even more. Anyway, I heard they've been running away without leaving a trace of evidence. That's all the information I have on them right now. Sorry. For now, I'll make a post on the fan site and ask for any more details people might know. Man, being famous really brings its own unique set of problems. What was that? But we really don't have any info. We'll just have to wait for Mishima to get a more solid lead. Okay. Someone wants to hang out. Nope, it's the convenience store trying to call me into work. Alright, what do we have here? I have to, like, fight the urge to go leave the classroom manually. I keep forgetting that this is a thing. Oh. I could go to Kichijoji. Maybe I should go to work. I think I do still need to put in some more work at the convenience store. Sorry for the sudden call. It's Shibuya from the store. I was wondering if you had time to come in today? It's double points day for cardholders, so we're getting kind of slammed. If you could help out, I'd really appreciate it. Oh, and the manager said you'll get paid extra for really busy days. It's fine if you can't, but if you've got the time, please come help out.
Now's our chance.
Yeah, let's get some charm going. Oh, right. Duh. As soon as I closed the phone, I completely forgot how to use the friggin' map again. Now, I think the store is where I work in the afternoon.
It's really
Oh, the day ends with a 7. No wonder it's extra busy. Yeah, I don't care. I'm here to work.
What do you want to do?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
There's no end to these customers. Just keep your cool and don't forget to smile. That's the Zeb Ramen? It's supposedly known for its wild flavor. Detailed information about zebras. That's the Jumbo Vanilla Cup. What a huge cup of ice cream. Moo. There's a sudden rush of customers. Yeah, okay. Focus on finding the barcodes and quickly getting through the crowd. Oh, this is okay. It's next to the mascot.
Nice
Okay.
going.
Barcode slang? Okay.
You did great.
Good work on handling all that by yourself. You've been such a huge help.
Good work today.
Thanks for your hard work. Keep it up.
Hey,
Wow, that was worth 3 points of charm. Awesome. And it still didn't level up.
Ah, you're back.
Okay, so let me see what we've got. Still just Sojiro. We've got something in Shibuya, but I'm betting it's that gun clerk again, who I still can't do anything about. Oh, the underground mall is not where I meant to go. Yep. It's the gun clerk. Awesome. Oh, I didn't check to see if the speaker was there. Dang it, you're right. At least it doesn't take long to load this. Yeah, it's not. Good call, though. So Sojiro's still not going to speak to me because that dude hasn't shown up and he hasn't dealt with him yet.
What is it?
Yep, okay. Ooh, the crossword's back.
hey, hey.
A type of outdoor allergy? An outdoor allergy. Oops. A cross gets congested. Oh, I can still stop. Yeah, but histamines are like the cause of allergies in general. They don't have anything to do with outdoors. I can't call the maid. I can't call from LeBlanc at all.
Oh.
Also, there's no H. Histamine doesn't fit. Let's see. Sign of a cold. Cough? No, that's 5 letters. Gets congested. Oh, nose. Let's actually spell nose correctly, though. Sign of a cold. Nothing I can think of fits. Yay, a storm. Yup. Sign of the cold. I don't understand. Hold on. Wait. I want to see something. Whoa. I want to read the trivia and see what it says here. Semester's block. Oh, that's just for the crap I've already solved. Lame. It reset the whole thing. Oh, sneeze could be good. Yeah. Alright, so now we've got nose and sneeze out. Now we've just got to jumble with these remaining letters. A type of outdoor allergy. Such a long word. No, it's 10 letters long. Pollen does fit. Yeah. We'll start it with pollen and then see what's left. Pollen. I don't know what the crap that could be. Ugh. Pollinosis? Is that... I have never heard that. It does sound like a condition, though. Pollinosis. Thank you, Fix. This is an allergic reaction that triggers when pollen makes contact with the membranes in the nose or eyes. It primarily causes sneezing, runny nose, and itchiness. These symptoms came to rise whenever English farmers harvested their pastures, leading the nickname for pollinosis, hay fever, to become commonplace.
All right.
I see. Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out either. I mean, I've heard of hay fever. I've never heard of it referred to. I've never heard of pollinosis at all. That was interesting. We can't call... Yeah. That's one of the fun things about the game. You occasionally get little snippets of knowledge. Let's see. Let's go batting. Oh, we could go to the bath. That will boost charm, correct? I forget. Boost your charm. Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Let's go in. Just me in a tub with a bunch of dudes.
Whoa.
Oh, 2 points of charm out of that. Not bad, not bad. It takes so much to level up these things. Madarame epic fail. I heard there's a forum about the Phantom Thieves. Oh, I've seen him on TV. He's famous, but he still rides the train like everyone else. Hey, isn't that detective? Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
What do you think about that?
Hey, that calling card sent to the Madarame exhibit. Do you think...
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I think it's just like the one sent to Kamoshida. People online are saying the Phantom Thieves are behind this.
That's cool.
There's already a fan site with a bunch of requests posted on it. I can't believe
cool.
they're real-life superheroes. If it's happened twice, it's probably going to happen again. Can't wait to see who's next. Neither can I. Because it sure does feel like we're kind of spinning our wheels right now. These little interludes.
Oh, yes.
Sounds like a lot of people are going to be on that trip to the studio tomorrow. Do you guys get to see the show too? I wouldn't mind seeing that. I like talk shows. Oh, and variety shows. I wonder if they'll talk about the Phantom Thieves. They certainly get plenty of attention on TV and the internet. Though I'm a little worried about what might happen if the media gets people too riled up. Oh, that reminds me. Have you guys covered totalitarianism yet? Okay. It's not quite a leap as it seemed, but that sure did seem to come out of nowhere. It's a governmental structure that unites its people under a single ideology and authoritarian control of the masses. In theory, it brings people together under one ideal. That definitely comes with logistical benefits, but it also means forcing ideals on people, assimilating the unwilling. And that's how wars get started.
How about you?
Not always. Alright, Gilly, here's a question. Where does totalitarianism take things a step further than authoritarianism? It's under one dictator or it's controlling public thought. I really want to say it's under one dictator. I think it's under one dictator. This is a fixed question. We were talking about the difference between communism and anarchy in one of his history streams about a month ago. I really want to say it's under one where does totalitarianism take things a step further than authoritarianism? I really want to say it's under one dictator. But it could also be controlling public thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maybe it was a bit too hard.
Oh! Ugh! Dang it. No, sorry. I probably should have given you a hint or something. A totalitarian government tries to control the culture, morals, and even thoughts of its people. To minimize dissidents, they try to assimilate everyone into one ideology. Even reading the room can be seen as a form of a personal assimilation. You all do that too, right? I try to, though I'm not great at it. It's not a bad skill to have. It can even help you survive the modern world. But you can't do it too much. If you make an echo chamber, then the people whose opinions differ might get hurt. See, I had that thought, but I felt like authoritarian governments kind of instilled almost a worship of authority in a generalized sense, not necessarily one person. Oh, now they're making fun of me.
So,
I'd like to remind you all to keep a strong sense of self and an open mind so we can disagree and still live in harmony. I guess class is almost over. That's it for today. A strong sense of self, huh? We might need to make sure we don't lose sight of what we believe in too.
principal's trying to get info on the students. Why do you think he's doing that?
Because he thinks the Phantom Thieves started here. Because Kamoshida was the first target. He's right.
It's probably because of Mr. Kamoshida, right? Considering what happened with Suzuki-san.
Huh?
I heard Principal Kobayakawa knew about the sexual harassment too, and just turned a blind eye to it.
Well, I think what they're saying, like, what's the difference? Where does totalitarianism take it further than authoritarianism? Like, I think they're saying that both can have dictators, but totalitarianism is where they take it to trying to unify. That still sounds like authoritism. Yeah. Yeah.
I bet he wants to snuff out any rumors now. Even the volleyball team was told to keep quiet.
That's the worst. So that's what he's using Nijime-senpai for?
Oh yeah, rumor has it she knew as well. Isn't that horrible? Chick's all noble about it too.
She doesn't know. She suspects.
Nijime-senpai knew?
Well, it seems clear Makoto's joining the team on this target,
What is the meaning
whoever
of
it
this,
is.
Principal Kobayakawa? Why did you post that notice?
It was all for your sake.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
I thought the more information you had, the easier your investigation would become. And did any information arise about the case I asked you to look into?
Nothing yet. I will pass the details along if anything comes up. Right now, there is a more pressing issue.
Who places that single head which is in a group? Yeah.
It appears there are students at Shuchen who are being threatened by a criminal organization. A student who saw your posting came to us looking for help. I'd like to request a countermeasure.
He won't agree to that. Yeah.
Isn't this some sort of mistake? I can't believe this would happen to the students of our academy.
Shut up.
Now is no time for such problems. There is still lingering concern regarding the Phantom Thieves.
But we received a request for help.
I'm rather busy at the moment. If you wish to do something, you will need to act on your own.
How nice. Excuse me just a moment. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back.
Sir, are you sure about this? I'm still investigating your case as well.
Yes, that's correct. It works out perfectly.
That was said in such a sleazy way. That works out perfectly.
My intentions have borne fruit. This criminal organization must be the connecting factor. If you pursue this criminal issue, you'll surely find clues about the Phantom Thieves.
But that's absurd.
So, let's say this rumor is true. Do you intend to ignore those students in trouble?
He says mockingly.
Your sister would have solved this easily if she were in your position.
Sai is not available.
My expectations of you are very high. I hope you don't disappoint.
So what kind of person would be a bigger target than Madarame? I wonder. I guess it'd have to be someone who's the talk of the town. That's quite a vague prerequisite. Don't we have any more specific ideas? Helsing, welcome back! He does kind of have One Punch Man's face. But to me, given his size, all I ever think of when I see him is Kingpin. Let's see. An evil overlord. Yeah, sure. Let's go with an evil overlord. Dude, this ain't some kind of video game. Either way, we'll need a lead before we can begin anything.
I am too smart.
We'll just have to look for that as we go.
I am too smart.
If only there was a big target just lying around for us.
I mean, S-M-A-R.
Hey,
Hey, tomorrow's field trip is to the TV station, isn't it? Maybe our next target will be a celebrity? There we go. Ah. The counselor is back.
The likelihood of you dying violently within the next 5 minutes is 87.61%.
I'm nowhere near a palace. Nice try. Is he one of the people who messaged me? Oh! Oh, man. Okay, okay. Counselor first.
Hey there. What a scorcher, right? Thank you so much. Now.
Good one, Fix. It's been a while since I've gone most of the way through a mute without realizing I've been muted. Hey, Ellie, how you doing? Thank you for the host. I found these cookies in an underground mall. Now we can have a little break. They're kind of fancy cookies, too. I thought I'd get a surprise for you, since you've been kind enough to indulge me all this time. Go ahead, enjoy. How old do you think I am? This looks great. Go on, don't be shy. I've got enough for seconds, too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right? It'd be a box of half-eaten Oreos. Oh, I know. As long as we're talking about cookies, they actually reminded me about this psychological experiment. The scientists prepared 2 containers, and they put the same kind of cookies in both of them. In one container, they only put 1 cookie, but the other one was filled with cookies, 10 of them. So then they had their subjects try cookies from each container and asked how their taste compared. Which container's cookies were marked as tasting better? Any guesses? The one with the 1 cookie? Because it is rare?
Right.
Correct. Easy to guess, huh? There's something called the Law of Scarcity. It's about what you'd imagine from the name. People are drawn to things that are more scarce. You can see this law in action just by observing how excited people get over limited edition merchandise. You know, you're right. Aha, I know, right? Don't you think it's really fascinating? Yeah. If you actually take the time to learn about marketing in general, as a practice, it gets really disgusting sometimes how we as consumers are played like a fiddle. In becoming aware of scarcity, we trigger our own desires and cause a change in our cognition. Not only that, the effect spreads to our senses and creates a subjective, observable difference in our reality. Basically, your perceptions can be changed by your cognition or preconceptions. It's all below the conscious level, but it's really incredible. Incidentally, now that you've heard that story... Yeah, but, like, limited edition is... Some things are legitimately hard to make, and are scarce for a reason. There are times where demand just simply outpaces supply, and there's nothing you can do. Like the recent CPU and GPU shortages, the console shortages, what have you. Like, it didn't matter how many of those things they pumped out, they would just get snapped up. And because they are scarce, people are willing to pay scalper prices for it. But there are some things that you could make 1 billion of, but they'll only make 10 just so they can charge through the nose for them because they've made them rare by choice. I've heard diamonds are like that, although I can't really say anything about it because I don't know for sure. Incidentally, now that you've heard that story, how do you feel about that idea, that your unconscious desires may have changed the taste of the cookie? It's a little scary. I guess I can understand that perspective, sure. It probably sounds like an exaggeration, but something about that seems so beautiful to me. Maybe the human heart can falter or be unreliable sometimes. But if this experiment proves anything, it's that even a simple preconception can be enough to bring someone more joy.
For example...
Take that story I just told you. What if you'd eaten that one cookie and it'd been the best cookie of your life? Say I never revealed the trick behind it. That cookie would have remained more delicious than usual. It would have been the subjective truth of your reality. I guess so. Right. I'm glad to hear you say that. Basically, what I wanted to say was, if this idea of preconception could be studied further and actually applied to treating people, I feel like it could help a lot of people, maybe even more than I could help through counseling. Then again, it relies so heavily on perspective. Some people might call it a lie, or see it as running from problems. Still, even if that's true, I still believe that method could save a lot of people.
Sorry!
We wound up getting into an academic conversation after all. Yeah, it's the 3C or the 4 C's. But I don't know whether this is true or a conspiracy theory, so take anything I'm about to say here with a grain of salt. But I've heard that diamonds are only expensive because they are being made artificially scarce by jewelry companies. Like, there are actually a lot more of them out there, but they limit the supply to increase the demand. I really need to watch myself. Whenever I'm talking to you, somehow I always end up going back to my research. I truly am grateful for everything you've done. Not just because I can get your opinion on these things either. It's more like, it's as if I'm talking to an old friend. But maybe that's too personal. After all, this is for the sake of our deal, right? So we say, anyway. Man, Maruki just needs someone to listen to him. This one levels so fast.
All right.
How to practice mindfulness. Now then, I'd better show you another way to mentally train yourself. What I'm going to teach you today is... Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
I do like how I get more more SP out of meeting with him, though. Oh, this is Maruki. Sorry about earlier. It was supposed to be a chance for us to relax, but it ended up being another big academic discussion. I thought it was thought-provoking. Really? Wow, I'm so happy to hear that. I've always been like this. I get so hyper-focused on my research, I don't notice anything else. Back when I was a student, people kept warning me about that. Oops, there I go rambling again. Sorry. Alright, see you again soon. I enjoy thought experiments like that and discussions on academic subjects. It's fun to keep learning. You know how we're going to that TV station tomorrow, yeah? I'm thinking we might find our next target there. Oh, that's right. We're always hearing gossip about the dark sides of celebrities. You're right. With that much money, they probably got their fingers in all sorts of dirty business. That phrasing has quite an immoral ring to it. Dude, you always react to the weirdest stuff. Anyway, we get to observe a live recording of the show, right? Queen Vampire of a Coven. Oh, she'll love that. Oh, maybe we're going to be on TV. We'll just be in the crowd, remember? Any TV appearance would be for like 2 seconds. Try not to pull any fanciful stunts to garner attention, okay? Oh boy, I can't wait to see what stupid shirt Ryuji's gonna wear. Let's see, we've got spam mail. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Customers are gone. You don't need to help. It looks like there's still a problem with the man who stopped by earlier. I don't... Okay, so we just have to wait. It's not going to let me use the phone. I don't have the guts for it. I know how to get a little guts boost. I could go try and eat that huge burger again. Oh. Hold on. Okay, he's not back. Do you have time today? Senpai, do you have time today? I was thinking I need to make good on our deal. No time like the present, right? We can start hammering those basics into you anytime. I don't have time. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go eat a huge burger again. I won't be able to finish it, but I'll at least get 1 point of guts out of it. Take the challenge, blah, blah, blah. Dude, this burger from a... It has to be larger than his stomach. Hold on. Wait till you see it.
Thank you very
You see
much.
how thin Joker is? He's like a reed.
No.
And then they serve him this. It's almost larger around than his torso.
Nailed it.
Come on. I won't succeed, but...
Man.
Yeah! And my guts and knowledge. That's okay. I know I wasn't going to finish it. I just wanted some points and guts. Well, I mean, eventually your stomach would say no and you'd puke it up. Like, I've seen videos of, like, speed eating challenges and stuff like that, and I just can't help but feel a bit revolted by the whole
To help
thing.
make TV shows. I'm sure you know about commercial breaks. Well, those are actually sponsor-related product placements.
Duh.
To sum things up, ratings are vitally important for a station's production funding, and...
Everyone knows that.
Chill, man.
For example, soap opera reruns are shown in the day, whereas alluring newswomen are broadcast at night.
And just like that, I've got the Days of Our Lives theme song stuck in my head again.
Thus, the scheduling department is where we decide what time we broadcast which program. I suppose you could say it's the place where the scheduling is determined.
No way! The schedule is determined at the scheduling department? Mind explosivo!
Could this get any more obvious?
Exactly. So sleepy. You're right.
So sleepy.
Don't start with the
best
yawning.
parts are taken from the footage in order to cut down the program to the desired length. The place where this filmed footage is edited would be the editing room.
Hey, how much longer does this go?
What kind of soup and sandwich? I'm curious.
I swear, I'm not gonna last.
Excuse you, sir.
What's going on? I can't stand all this noise.
Oh my gosh! I'm so... I can't help but talk all weird.
Hey, asshole!
My apologies. I'll have them leave right away. Now then, it's time for a bit of hands-on experience.
It's time to learn how to use the elevator and get the heck out of here.
Who does that jerk think he is?
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Hey there. You want to be on TV?
It sounded like I was being asked that by a really bored butthead. Yeah, like whenever I hear of like a soup and a sandwich combo, like the first thing that always comes to mind is tomato soup and grilled cheese. And the sad thing is, I don't like tomato soup, but I really want to like it. It looks so good.
Huh?
You've got a slammin' bot after all.
I'm on a school trip.
Just give me a call if you're interested. I'd greatly welcome a message from you, day or night.
Dude, pump the brakes. Look, if you're struggling... No. If you're struggling to finish the dinner you have now, I don't want to make you re-hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arky's got a point.
Greatly welcome my ass. It's obvious what he's after.
Duh. Creep
These
recognize
fucking adults
creep.
care about anything other than looks? I'll yank their stupid hearts out, damn it.
Kalima.
Will you quiet down? You're supposed to be acting like good students today.
You draw your line at a very specific point there, Ellie.
I understand you're bored, but please don't cause any trouble, okay?
Well then, let's have you see what it's like to be an AC. Oh, that stands for assistant camera.
Ha ha ha, don't I sound so smart?
When we're moving cameras, we need people who can keep the cables from getting tangled up. The blonde will do. He seems like he's got energy to spare anyway.
Wow, you're a douchebag.
Guy next to him, you can come too if you're feeling lonely. Come on, hurry up and grab the cables.
I'm not your cable monkey.
Damn it. This sucks. Ah, what a pain in the ass!
Whoa.
This is totally killing my vibe.
We fought valiantly against the long cables. I fought the cables and the cables won.
I'm so pissed off!
Yeah, you got used.
Aren't we supposed to be guests? Why the hell do we have to be doing manual labor? This is bullshit! Going to the bathroom didn't even make me feel better.
Is your hissy fit helping?
Quiet down, will you?
Bacon is amazing.
I get how you feel, though. That sucked for the both of us.
Oh, we gotta do more of this tomorrow, too?
No flaking out, Ryuji.
I know. I gotta be a good boy, right? Being Phantom Thieves ain't easy.
Were you expecting a limousine ride or something?
And that reminds me, we get to go home straight from here today. We don't spend much time in this area, so why don't we relax and check out some shops beforehand?
I'm down.
I know a place. I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here.
BLTs are my favorite sandwich.
It looked delicious. What was that?
Oh, you mean Dometown? The round part is a baseball stadium, then along the outside, they've got an amusement park.
It's right in the middle of a business area, but they have some pretty hardcore rides there too.
That's an interesting combination.
All right, let's go. I'll show you just how courageous I am.
Going on a scary ride doesn't really prove any kind of courage.
Well, I don't know. BBBs. Yeah. It's when you take bacon and then you put it in between 2 more slices of bacon and you just eat the stack. Yeah, exactly. I love how all 3 of you are just like, yeah, bacon, bacon, bacon.
I'd like cats can get on anyways.
Really?
Really? You might be able to sneak in if you stay in the bag, but you'd totally puke if you did that.
Oh, that would suck. Going on a roller coaster where you can't see out, you're just along for the ride.
But, let's just go to Dometown. I'm really feeling it now.
Me too. My stomach's ready for roller coasters.
Which is a phrase no one in their life has ever had to say.
I think I'll pass on the puke rides.
Excuse me. I couldn't help but notice your uniforms. Are you students of Shujin Academy?
Well, yes, we are, Akechi. That's true. I have been on a dark ride. I suppose I'm thinking more of the claustrophobic aspect of it, where you know you're surrounded by a bag.
Yeah, what do you want?
I happened to be passing by, so it seemed polite to greet you. We'll be filming together, after all.
Yeah, it's like he's carrying the Tesseract in that case.
Where are my manners? My name is Goro Akechi.
Akechi?
Filming? What, you a celebrity?
Only to the extent of a...
Ah, Moofy. Timely as always. How are you? Thank you for coming along.
Oh.
My apologies. I truly was just passing by. I must be going.
Indiana kitchen bacon. I've never heard of that. Oh, that looks good. You know, it'd probably be smart for us to stop talking about bacon. That looks good. Maple candied bacon. I gotta stop looking at this.
There's a briefing for tomorrow's recording that I have to attend. So, you're going to go have cake now?
Hey, you finished it. Good job, Ellie.
I missed lunch today, so I'm quite hungry myself.
Huh? Cake? What are you talking about?
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Oh, you're eavesdropping on us. Okay.
No matter. Well, see you tomorrow.
Whatever. Baldy, pass me a sensu bean.
What, do you think I'm just giving these away?
Oh, and of course now Moof joins in. Fine. This is going to be the bacon stream. Here's your Reaper bean. Ugh. Peanut butter with bacon and egg? That sounds gross.
He's never gonna get popular with that kind of hair, though.
You don't get it.
It's fine. We'll see him again tomorrow anyways. Come on, let's get to Dome Town.
Oh, it's a new destination.
All right.
It's still got some burn to it, but as a beeper bean goes, it's pretty light.
Hey, can we skip the vomit machines and get cake instead?
I feel like I'm gonna puke. Oh, for real, my stomach's churning.
This is why I spoke against it.
Dude, it's not fair. Using your cathood as an excuse. Only at times like this.
Anyway, are you guys feeling hungry?
There's only one, aside from carnival rides. Carnival rides are death traps, and I hate riding them. But there's only one theme park ride that makes me nauseous, and that's Mission Space at Walt Disney World. It's a centrifuge ride. It's fun, but it makes me really freaking nauseous. And Perm likes to say that I tricked him into riding it one day because I told him it wasn't that bad, and he still holds it over me.
Let's go home. We have another full day ahead of us tomorrow.
If I know I'm going to a place that serves a large dinner, I will skip lunch. They're going to film us at the TV station tomorrow, right? Well, try not to stand out too much. That's Ryuji's thing. Yep. Yeah, Beat Saber will do it. Let's see. I'm still not going to be able to use the phone. So, can I go see the doctor? No. That sucked, man. Why did I have, like, 3 confidants all want to talk to me at the same time? If I go there, she's not going to talk to me. The map would tell me if she wanted to talk to me. Let's look around a bit more. Okay. It's just the gun dude again, who I don't have the guts to talk to. I guess we'll just eat another huge burger. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, ultimately, I'm getting some guts point, and it's not costing me a whole lot of yen, so that's okay.
Thank you very much. Now then.
Although I probably should have gone... Oh, I'm not doing this smartly.
Yep.
I should go to the DVD place and rent some more movies or whatever, and that will help raise points too. And I think I've got one to turn in too. I keep forgetting that this game's got like all sorts of things that you can do all the time, and I just keep forgetting they exist because I never touch them. I'm like settling into a routine.
Mr. Akechi's coming on.
It's Akechi! Oh, he's so cool!
Ain't that the guy from yesterday?
Yeah.
Cutting back from commercial. 7, 6, 5 seconds till start. 4, 3.
And now, on to the hottest meet and greet segment of our show.
What's with the digital counter in the middle of the room?
After his last appearance was so well received, we decided to bring back this fine gentleman today. It's the high school detective, Goro Akechi.
Hello there.
Thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Hello
Akechi.
there.
Your popularity is stunning.
Even I found it to be quite a surprise. It is a bit embarrassing, though.
What is this set? This looks like the set of a game show.
Moving along, we've been told there's a case on your mind right now. Care to share, Detective?
Ah, yes. That would be the scandal involving the master artist Madarame.
Oh. Me either.
There it is! All of this Phantom Thief excitement has caught your attention too, Akechi-kun.
Would you believe that they're in this very room?
Allow me to be blunt for just a second. What do you think of these justice-oriented Phantom Thieves?
If they truly are heroes of justice, I sincerely hope they exist.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so you don't deny the possibility that they're real?
I may not seem like it, but I sometimes wish that Santa Claus actually existed. Although, if he did, I'd have to arrest him for breaking and entering. But hypothetically speaking, if these Phantom Thieves are real, I believe they should be tried in a court of law.
Okay.
That's quite the statement. Are they committing crimes? Some people even say that the thieves are actually helping their victims abandon their evil ways.
What the artist Madarame did truly was an unforgivable crime. However, they're taking the law into their own hands by judging him. It is far from justice.
I mean, I won't deny there's an element of vigilantism in what the Phantom Thieves do. But
more importantly, you should never forcefully change a person's heart.
You have a point. These people are calling themselves the Phantom Thieves, after all. Amazing as always, Akechi-kun. I could listen to you for days. You have the most radiant charisma.
Excuse me. I think this host has a crush.
I have to say, though, I would be embarrassed if it turns out these Phantom Thieves don't exist. If that were the case, I'd summarize it into a report as a school project.
Now then, let's try asking some students the same age as Akechi-kun about the Phantom Thieves.
Uh-oh.
First, please press your button now if you think the Phantom Thieves exist.
Don't press the button. Don't press the button. Ryuji's gonna press the button and they're gonna call on him.
Of course they do.
Yep. Oh, that's what the counter's for.
About 30% or so. What are your thoughts, Akechi-kun?
I'm a bit surprised. That's higher than I was expecting. I'd love to hear some more detailed opinions on the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Ryuji, shut your fool mouth.
All right, let's try.
Oh, they're
asking
gonna talk
this
to me.
student here.
Okay.
Hypothetically speaking, what are your thoughts on these Phantom Thieves if they were real?
Oh man, they won't let me stay neutral on this. They're necessary.
Ah, I wasn't expecting that.
This completely goes against the opinion you had about them being tried by law, Akechi-kun.
Indeed. It's rather intriguing to hear such a strong acknowledgement.
Are you winking at me?
In that case, there's one more question I'd like to ask.
How long have you been a member of the Phantom Thieves?
If someone close to you, for example, your friend next to you, if his heart suddenly changed, wouldn't you think it was the work of the Phantom Thieves?
You know, I don't think I would. Not at all.
No doubts at all. However, there is a large problem in your reasoning.
Nope, there is a lack in your knowledge.
Whether the thieves' actions are good or not, I feel there is a more important issue at hand.
Hmm? What do you mean?
The matter of how they change people's hearts. If they honestly possess that ability, it could be used for more than extracting confessions. It could be that what seem to be ordinary crimes are actually being perpetrated by these methods.
I'm confused what you mean by that.
You know, you're absolutely right.
Oh, please don't misunderstand. This is all purely hypothetical. It is only if people who can use such a power truly exist. Either way, though, this cannot be ignored. The existence of the Phantom Thieves would be nothing but a threat to our everyday lives. To be honest, I'm already working alongside the police to help sort out this matter.
It kinda seemed like what he was saying might be right.
From his point of view, yeah.
He made it sound like we're the baddies. I don't like it.
You're missing... You each only have half of the coin here.
That stuff about the police, do you think it's for real?
From your perspective, you're right. From his perspective, he's right. You're both right.
He can say whatever he wants. The justice of it all is something we can decide for ourselves.
Oh, sorry. I gotta go take a leak. Can you guys wait here? I'll be right back.
Very diplomatic.
Oh my god. I'm gonna keep going, okay?
Okay.
Oh, it's you.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad I found you. I wanted to thank you in person.
You're welcome.
To paraphrase Hegel, advancement cannot occur without both thesis and antithesis.
Okay.
My apologies. What I mean is that our discussion was quite meaningful.
I'm not stupid, Akechi. I knew what you meant.
Few people around me are so willing to speak their minds as freely as you did earlier.
I wonder why that would be.
Adults are only interested in using the young, while they simply do as the adults say. There are too many irresponsible people in these modern times. I can understand why you'd support the Phantom Thieves.
Well, and quite frankly, Akechi, it's hard to argue with results. The two targets they had so far have both been horrible people who have confessed their crimes. So, while I admit the possibility of abusing this power exists and should be regulated in some fashion,
It's possible that this group is just as you believe, and they are truly acting with good intentions. Since they have special talents, I assume their hearts must be burning with a sense of justice and...
Meanwhile, Joker just blows it casually. He's like, we totally do, man. You get us.
But that justice is merely a facade, concealing their lack of true strength.
That's now the arrogance is coming in. I don't think so.
That's why I believe if a truly powerful opponent were to corner them,
truly powerful. He's too breathy when he talks. It's weird. You're getting a little defensive here, Joker. They wouldn't run.
Oh?
I kind of tried to stick to the answer that made it sound like blind hero worship.
You really are intriguing. I bet you'd make for a worthwhile debate partner on the subject. If it's all right with you, would you continue sharing your thoughts with me?
I would very much love to stop talking about this with you forever. Fine by me, I guess.
Thank you.
I can't say
That's
no.
Great news. I sense something in you that's quite different from other people.
Oh, do you?
I guess you can call it my detective's intuition. Kidding, of course.
No, you're not. Is this a what? This is a new covenant?
I can't believe you evaded the police's network until today. The only logical explanation is that someone in the police has ties to the Phantom Thieves. Explain yourself.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast acquired a new vow. It shall become the wings of rebellion that breaketh thy chains of captivity.
With the birth of the Justice Persona, I have obtained the winds of blessing that shall lead to freedom and new power.
Justice. Of course.
All right.
Yep.
Ah, yes. We should exchange contact info.
This is super dangerous.
And registered. Well, I hope to see you again sometime soon.
A detective's intuition, huh? We shouldn't underestimate that.
Exactly. While it can be a powerful thing to sway an enemy to your side, there's still a snake in the grass.
On the other hand, there's an awful lot we could learn from him. If he contacts you, try hanging out with him.
Sorry for taking so long. Wait, was that Akechi?
Yeah.
I can't stand that high and mighty attitude. Just breathing the same air as him makes me sick.
Note to self, do not invite Ryuji to my hangouts with Akechi.
Come on, let's go.
Excuse me. Sorry for the yawn. I really feel like I haven't gotten much sleep this weekend. What a boring field trip. We didn't even find any worthwhile targets. That Akechi bastard. Thinking about what he said is just pissing me off again. He clearly tried to discredit everything we're doing. And he just had to say it on live TV, too. Don't be so sour. There are, without a doubt, people we have saved. Those people could not have been saved if not for the heroics of the Phantom Thieves. I am living proof of that. Aw, what a nice thing to say! Wait, was that Akechi-kun? Was what Akechi-kun actually said wrong? I feel like he had a point. Why you gotta bring that up now? I mean, is it really okay to be doing this to people just because they're criminals? I know what you mean, Ellie. I'm sorry. I can't wait for the summer to be over. It sucks. Doesn't it seem a little selfish? We are Phantom Thieves on. I doubt everyone would forgive us for what we did to Madarame. Yet I decided it was a necessary act. Kamoshida too. We weren't going to do anything to him through any kind of normal methods. That's true, but what do you think, Gilly? Are we being selfish? We're helping people. I guess I can't really think of any other way. I believe our best path forward is sticking to our justice, not that of the law. I read that line entirely wrong. Shouldn't that be enough? And with the unanimous decision rule in place, I doubt we'll lose our way. Yeah, you're right. Sorry for bringing that up. And don't worry, I'm not thinking about quitting the Phantom Thieves or anything. Just you watch, Akechi. Someday you're totally gonna see who was right. Okay, let's stop talking about this for now.
That Detective Akechi seems to have a lot of influence on the media.
I mean, I wouldn't deny that he has some level of, like, charisma, joie de vivre.
It'd be dangerous to get too close to him, but he may actually prove useful in some situations.
Super dangerous, though. Man, I just got off a text chain! I'm furious! You heard what Akechi said, right, Gilly? How dare he declare the Phantom Thieves are criminals? As administrator of the Phantom Aficionado website, I can't stay quiet about this. I'm gonna show Akechi how people online really feel. Don't retaliate! I'll change up the survey question tomorrow morning. Justice is with the Phantom Thieves. Keep on doing what you do best.
Why is he, of all people, getting angry about this?
He is defending our honor.
Anyway, he means the survey on the fan site, right? I guess we should look forward to it.
I don't even remember how to pull up the fan site. Let me guess. We're still waiting here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, the politician's not back. Gun dude's still there. Nothing in the underground mall. Alright. I'm going to do what I actually said I was going to do last time. I'm going to go back to the DVD rental store and rent something different. Because we could always watch TV in the room and get stats from that. I know it's so much more convenient to stream and stuff, but I can't help but feel a level of nostalgia about, like, visiting a Blockbuster and picking out a movie and stuff. There was something about just growing up during that time that was just... Every time you went in there, you never knew what they'd have, or if the hot new movie was out and they had, like, two...
Please, take your time.
Ah, the X folders. Investigators chase after supernatural cases. Gives you guts.
Wolf, you can't be serious. You think aliens did this?
I've heard it all before, Skullsy. But just look at these
Skullsy.
bodies. They can't be from Earth.
Hey.
The atmosphere of this show is so ominous. I'm getting creeped out. I used to like the X-Files, but I just couldn't follow it eventually. Phew, that was intense. I could barely breathe through all that. I bet you summoned a little more guts by watching this drama. Well, hey, at least that didn't cost me any money.
Well then.
Alright. I'm going to take a few minutes AFK and then I'll be right back. Enjoy these clips and we'll keep on going. Phantom Thieves were the bad guys. Oh, Akechi's turning public opinion against us. Lame. Okay. Well, that's no bueno. Did you catch any of that student detective on the television yesterday?
The Phantom Thieves are super lame.
Ah, that talk show? It was simply dreadful. How can anyone suggest supernatural beings are stealing people's hearts? That child is a phony. There's simply no way that the Phantom Thieves exist. Unfortunately, my precious children all think they're real. And worse, that this detective is amazing. Children are far too impressionable to see such vulgar content on TV. Looks like people still don't think we're real.
I'm so pumped.
I can't believe we were on TV yesterday with Akechi-kun. It was like a dream come true. I can't believe a high schooler moonlights as a detective. He's just like Detective Prince. What? He's smart and handsome. He's almost too perfect.
Too cool.
We had front row seats. I could practically reach out and touch Akechi-kun. I was so nervous. He was really working that uniform, and without seeming like a snob, he's really a natural at public speaking. I hear he's an orphan who grew up poor. It's part of what makes him so amazing. He wants his last high school memory to be capturing the Phantom Thieves. This isn't a game to him.
Says who?
See, I heard his dad's the head of some big financial conglomerate. I will say, I love that he hates the media. Makes me believe he doesn't do this for the fame. People say he's so good he's made enemies in the police force. Oh yeah, apparently yesterday's interview was so popular they're gonna air it again tonight. I don't know why that voice slowly transitioned into a male voice.
Man, the detective from yesterday really pissed me off. Was some kind of threat?
Kinda.
Let's see him do it then.
We can do something they can't. That by definition makes us a threat. Oh, poor Rini.
If someone else could help him, we wouldn't be doing stuff as the Phantom Thieves to start with.
Deep breaths, Ryuji. That's awesome.
You're being way too loud.
Did you just have a dental procedure?
Who cares?
Oh, she's eating.
Everybody's talking about this stuff anyways. They'd just be more suspicious if we were whispering. Hey, you're really just gonna keep eating and eating and eating those things all by yourself? Give me some!
Sorry, just ate the last one.
You guys are too laid back. The police are getting involved now, you know.
Really? Are they gonna play us some cool tunes?
So you think it's true? We'll be okay if we keep doing this, right?
We can't let the cops scare us out of being Phantom Thieves.
But what about that weird guy from Madarame's palace? Isn't there a lot we don't know?
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
The hell?
Makoto, explain yourself.
You three seem to be having so much fun. I'm a little jealous.
Okay.
Are you snooping on us again? We said before, we don't know nothing.
Why do you think I'm here to question you?
Because you just took a photo of us and we know you're in the middle of an investigation. Let's put two and two together here. It's not an unreasonable question.
Could it be that you're hiding something? My ears are always open to the troubles of my peers, you know.
You're really that hungry for a good letter of recommendation? Of course you are.
My older dog hates the thunder. Like, she will hide in a closet if it's thundering outside. The puppy couldn't care less. And she is oblivious to the weather outside. She will cry and cry and cry at me like, let's go outside. I need to go outside. Please, can we go outside? And I'm like, it's raining. Please. And she just whines and cries at me. And as soon as I take her out the front door and open it for her and she sees the rain, she's like, are you effing serious? I'm not going out there. And then if I shut the door on her, she starts crying at me again. She's such a weird dog. Aww.
Nobody would take on your annoying job if they weren't.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're student council president, right? Wouldn't you have known about Kamoshida?
Oh, that's why On's coming out swinging. Yeah.
Of course not. He honestly was a good teacher until that day.
No, he was not.
Oh, but you always take the teacher's side. That's what a good council president does, right?
Then how about you? What did you do for your friend?
Makoto. That's a low blow, and you know it.
You were much closer to her than I was. So how did you help?
No worries, Rocket.
There wasn't any way to help. By myself, I couldn't do anything for her.
There's no need to shout.
But you could wear skimpy bikinis in Kamoshida's mind.
If those Phantom Thieves are out there helping people, I'd root for them, no questions asked. You gotta be more dependable than some people I know.
Oof.
Just make sure you show up to your classes, alright?
That was also a low blow, but I've got to applaud Ryuji for at least applying a little bit of tact to that.
You know what I asked earlier? About whether we'll be okay if we keep this up? I take it back. I'd be ashamed to let it end now.
Hell yeah. It's about time we find our next target, too.
Only I could.
Comments are coming in at an alarming rate. However, negative ones seem to be more prominent.
I know Yusuke is voice acted, clearly, but he sounds so close to that default Windows voice.
A criminal group with unknown goals that does whatever it wants in the name of justice. Huh.
It's probably because of Akechi. TV's got some crazy sway.
He's free to deny our actions, but being cursed by his influence is another thing entirely.
Just when we were starting to get people to believe in us, too.
All we gotta do is take down another hotshot, yeah?
Well, do you have any ideas who this next hotshot could be?
I ain't got a thing yet. Damn it, this is real irritating. By the way, what's up with that luggage?
That's a good question.
Oh, I decided to leave the school dorms. You are not only filthy, but too noisy as well. No true art could come from such a place.
I require at least 3 golden toilets before I can actually produce any real art.
What are you gonna do then? You can't go back to that shack, right?
I'm looking for a place very close to Permanube Manor.
I was planning on staying at Takamaki-san's, Ann's house.
You're still doing that?
I've even prepared a thank you gift. I hope it's to your parents' liking.
You haven't even asked? You're just presuming you can do this?
What? There's no way that's gonna happen.
Impossible.
You're the impossible one.
But I spent everything I had on these delectable Japanese sweets.
Well, that's what happens when you make an assumption, buddy.
That's not the issue here. Seriously, though, what are we gonna do about him?
What about a manga cafe? Just sleep here. A manga cafe? What's he talking about?
I don't have the money.
Then why'd you leave?
Well, seeing as Yusuke is an important member of our team, I'll lend a hand.
How so?
Come stay at our place. It's dirty, but at least you'll have somewhere to sleep.
Sojiro is not going to go with that.
Why are you the one calling the shots?
Don't you two live in a cafe? I've been wondering about that for a while. Yonken's not too far, is it?
Nope. And the cafe's only a minute walk from the station.
How about we go there now?
Say what? Say what? You okay?
We can have a party to celebrate Madarame's change of heart.
Rocket says hi.
Oh, good idea. We can make it a welcome party for Yusuke, too.
All right, it's decided.
She's already left the
Sorry
house,
to
but
cause
thank you,
trouble.
Ollie.
By the way, I prefer sleeping on a futon.
Beggars can't be choosers, buddy.
It'll be up to you to convince the chief.
What?
What a nice smell.
Oh, the whole gang's here. Hang on one second.
place looks so outdated. Can't say I hate it though.
People refer to that as retro.
Who are they?
Hello!
A girl, too?
This guy has really helped us a lot lately.
I bet you're the ones doing all the helping.
No, really, he's been great.
Huh. Sit down. This round will be on the house. You're helping, though.
Oh, of course he's buttering up on.
Wow, it's delicious.
Indeed. There's great depth to its acidity.
Oh yeah, I remember now. I think I've seen LeBlanc mentioned in a magazine before.
That was a long time ago.
For real? Oh, give me a taste.
Yeah, coffee's not to my liking either.
It's so bitter. This has got to be cruel and unusual punishment.
I didn't drink coffee when I was a kid either.
So remember, not only do you have to decide whether or not your desk has the room, but unless you're going to buy a dual monitor stand, you also need to determine if it has the footprint available to hold the stands of the two monitors individually.
These are your friends, yeah? Go on and take them up to your room. No need to stay down here.
Wow, he's just going along with this?
Ooh, I want to see.
Oh dear.
It's only an attic.
Oh man, that bitter taste just won't leave my mouth.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the drink.
Up these stairs. Oh, and thanks for the soda.
There aren't any other stairs in the place, Ryuji.
So you're
pretty attractive. Can I have your phone number?
On Takamaki.
Anchan, huh? It's a nice name. You got a boyfriend?
Nope, never have either.
Hey, you gotta get up here. This place is freaking insane.
How is it insane?
Go on.
Oh, right. Thank you for the coffee. Sheesh, they had to leave the Moana bag down here.
Sweet girl.
What do you think of this room? I don't know where to begin.
Wait, are you all staying here? Well, it depends on what you do with it. It's not to my liking, but I know that there are some people who actually put their second monitor vertical for different types of content. I have both of mine, you know, alongside landscape. But, you know, you can do all sorts of stuff with it.
It seems quite ordinary to me.
Yeah, it's more of an IT thing, to be honest. Most of the time I see people with like another monitor that's vertical. They use it for showing tickets or system monitoring software that's just up in there all the time, whatever. Oh my.
For real?
Oh.
See? Ain't this crazy?
Yep. Took me a little while to get that one. Of course, I just took it literally. And it was just like, well, here's a bunch of advice about monitors. Blah, 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 blah.
It's cleaner than I thought it would be.
Thanks.
What?
Well, sit wherever you'd like.
Bacon, egg, and cheese is not... I love me some bacon, but I have two favorite breakfasts. One is a traditional diner breakfast. Eggs, grits, bacon, and toast. The second is, if I'm at like a fast food place, sausage, egg, and cheese. Writing books and ripping off Anne Rice. I don't know who Anne Rice is, but it's nice to have a vampire queen in the area who's an author.
We're all over the news. Even those who previously believed in us have been influenced by the comments made on TV.
This is all that effing Akechi's fault!
Oh. I'm aware of that book. I'm aware of the book, I'm not aware of the author.
Keep it down. We don't want anyone hearing us.
At this rate, we're just going to worry everyone instead of give them courage.
Yeah.
We need to find a way to make our rightfulness known to society.
Okay. I apologize that I was not 100% aware of this common piece of knowledge everyone seems to have.
It's time we think about our next move. You were planning on discussing that today, right?
Yes. First, we need to search for a candidate.
It's not like we're just gonna stumble upon some important target, though.
Ryuji's about to recommend Akechi, isn't he?
You guys don't know anyone, do you?
I don't.
Me neither.
What do you think, leader?
Oh, now you care about my opinion? What about Mishima's site? I don't think we're going to get our real target off of it.
There hasn't been anything good out there lately, though.
Plus, it's not like anyone ever talks about the big targets on there.
Damn it. Never gonna prove Akechi wrong at this rate.
You can't prove Akechi wrong unless you just stop doing what you're doing and vanish into the ether. As long as you're vigilantes, which you can't help but be, he's always going to have this argument against you.
What the?
You hungry?
Sorry. I haven't eaten anything since yesterday.
And you spent all your money on that box of sweets?
Dude, how much did you have?
Anyway, we'll just have to sit tight until we can find another target. So, how about that welcome party?
Someone's excited.
I think I found something. Isn't that a portable stove?
Great idea, An. Let's just burn the place down.
Can't we make hot pot on it?
Oh, God. Hot pot. I know some friends of mine who have gotten extremely ill eating a hot pot.
That sounds great. I've heard that eating hot pot together brings people closer.
Anything with meat's fine by me.
I only ask that we finish it off with porridge. Extra parsley, of course.
So, what do you say?
Now, that being said, they were eating hot pot in China, which is not necessarily known for its food quality standards. Hot pot in this weather?
That doesn't matter.
Come on, let's go buy ingredients.
Well, I'll need ginkgo nuts, wonton wrappers, and...
We'll take care of the shopping. Could you borrow a pot from downstairs while we're out? We can split the cost later.
Looks like this welcome party is going to turn out quite lively. We should go grab that pot and set up the portable stove, too.
This feels like a mistake.
I heard you're all having hot pot for dinner.
Yeah. Want to join us?
Don't you know how busy I am? You guys go have fun.
I'm surprised that this is his stance.
Her name was An, right? She's a nice girl.
Yeah. She is.
She said your friend doesn't have anywhere to go. Asked if I could take him in for a bit. I guess she thought it'd be too pitiful for you to ask, since you're already freeloading.
Yep. And if An hadn't asked, you would have said no.
Where did I put that pot? Yeah, try looking around.
You mean that one right here? We cleaned it when we first got here, and then, like, nothing has happened since. An old earthenware vessel.
Ah, you found it. It's almost time for the others to get back from their shopping trip. So, I'll leave you be. I'll be down here for a while, though. Just be careful with the fire, okay?
Yeah. Ah.
And now, on to the hottest meet and greet segment of our show. After his last appearance was so well received, we decided to bring back this fine gentleman today.
Is this Akechi again?
It's the high school detective, Goro Akechi.
This tastes a bit bland, but I'm relieved. A lot's happened, but it seems your grades haven't dropped.
School's been going fine.
I've known some girls who were slobs, too.
I'm more worried about you, sis. Are you tired? You're probably lacking sodium.
What?
Do I seem so?
But hypothetically speaking, if these Phantom Thieves are real, I believe they should be tried in a court of law.
Oh, they're just replaying. Yeah.
That's quite the statement. Are they committing crimes? Some people even say that the thieves are actually helping their victims abandon their evil ways.
What the artist Madarame did truly was an unforgivable crime. However, they're taking the law into their own hands by judging him. It is far from justice. More importantly, you should never forcefully change a person's heart.
Is it a crime to manipulate someone's heart?
I mean, this is all metaphorical. I know in the world of Persona, it's literal, but they don't know that.
Depending on the means, yes. He's absolutely right.
Even if it makes someone admit their evil deeds and helps make them pay for their crimes?
Oh crap, someone will think poorly of me.
Why the sudden interest?
It's nothing.
Do you believe that these allies of justice exist?
Maybe I've been talking to them earlier today.
Oh, of course not.
You don't need to think about such unnecessary things. You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, that you think I'm stupid.
Study hard and go to a prestigious college.
Moving up in the world is difficult as a woman, yet you can't do much if you don't have the authority. I'll use every method necessary to make it happen. All you need to do is remain focused on what must be done now for your future's sake.
I got a case for mine that I store it in when I'm not using it. And that works out pretty well in case you decide to take it someplace. Now, obviously, I'm sure the directions covered this. Don't use your quest outdoors, particularly when the sun's shining, because the sun can come in through the lenses and damage the screen. But yeah, I've got. Hang on. I've got this case here that I store it in when it's not being used. Now, if it's always being used, sure, get a stand.
Sorry.
Now. Yes? It's fine. Oh, that case.
Pretty much for now. I still need to play Alex sometime. See, the problem is, like, I have trouble making time for longer play sessions when I can't put the game down. And with VR games, that's harder. Plus, I hate that stupid, like, VR goggles face that you get when you've been using it for a while.
What must be done? justice.
If those Phantom Thieves are out there helping people, I'd root for them, no questions asked.
What do I
Right?
want to do?
You know what you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, when it's clear, like, you see someone, you've been wearing a VR headset. Nobody looks like that. Just this, like...
Oh, I can't eat another bite.
That was delicious, Lady Ann. I'm sure you'll make a wonderful bride some...
Sorry. I'm gonna have to borrow the sofa.
What's wrong, Yusuke?
I do still need to finish Half-Life Alyx someday. That game was amazing. I just need to give it time and do it. But I can't stream it. I was getting complaints from Rocket specifically that the game was kind of making her a little bit seasick having it be streamed. Which I can sympathize. I understand that notion. It was a lot of fun, though.
We haven't finished our meal. What about the porridge? Or even udon?
Oh, let me guess. You're one of those rail-thin people who can eat like a garbage truck full of food and then still be fine?
Just leave it for next time, man.
She's asleep already?
Is she asleep? She sounds like she's about to give birth to a whale.
It'd be weird if she wasn't tired. We should let her sleep.
By the way, Ryuji, how do you know An?
Huh? Oh, we went to middle school together.
I get it. It's a different experience. The translation from 3D to 2D, especially with a headset mounted to your head, can be a little unsettling as a viewer in the 2D space, because it's always moving and it can get a bit nauseating. I completely understand that. But I will say, there is nothing else more immersive in the gaming space than VR. Truly. But the only time a VR games made me nauseated was Star Wars Squadrons. That game made me nauseous.
What was Lady Ann like back then?
Not so different from now.
But, like, Elite Dangerous was great in VR. Because you could actually, like, you were the pilot in the cockpit. You don't have to stand up and look around and do all this active stuff. You're a pilot in the cockpit. So normally while on the mouse and keyboard, like, you hit keys to look to the side and then look to the other side, and there's your comm panel and there's your destinations and blah, blah, blah. In VR, you actually just look to the sides and it's all real. It's like you're sitting there. And going into hyperspeed looks amazing in VR.
Once we got to high school, we ended up in different classes and stopped talking. I don't think she had many friends. I mean, she grew up overseas. Plus, there's her looks. The popular kids hate her, the quiet ones stay away.
I see. So, what about you two?
Us?
Sorry if you're catching some occasional background noise. I had to turn on the fan earlier because it's so friggin' hot in here.
This is a great opportunity to get to know each other better. You know every detail of my past at this point. It's only fair you tell me every detail of yours.
Every detail?
So you got nothing to lose, huh? Alright, I'll tell you. It's just a normal story about a rotten kid, though.
Squadrons was amazing in VR, even though it nauseated me. Doing the dogfight in VR and not having to, like, use the mouse and keyboard to look around, like, you could actually see the enemies above you and stuff. It's so cool.
My dad left when I was young. Ever since then, it's just been me and my mom. I was actually trying to get a track scholarship so I could make things easier for her. In the end, I just screwed it all up. Turns out I'm a pretty bad son, huh? Back when I was a first year, My mom got called out to school for me raising my hand at Kamoshida. All the teachers kept hounding her for what I did, but she just stayed quiet through it all. I'll never forget the look she had on her face, though. On the way home, she apologized to me for being a single mom and all.
Good night, Rocket. We're about to wrap it up here, too, but we're not done with this conversation yet.
They say at school that everyone is equal, but in reality, that's a gross oversimplification.
Is that not humanity? We're all humans, but we're all different, unique.
I understand how you feel.
Well, when it comes to getting labeled, nobody's got it worse than this guy.
Is this about his past?
Now that I think about it, we never have heard the details.
Oh. Alright, is he about to tell the story about how he stopped a sexual assault and then got in trouble for it somehow?
Damn brat! I'll sue!
Yup.
If you keep this up...
Good luck with work this week, Rocket. I know it's been rough on you, and I'm sorry, but good luck.
Then I'll report about the money. Is that fine with you?
All I have to say is that you did it on your own, and it's over.
But I just did as I was told.
Who do you think I am?
A raging dick.
No!
Hey, make this statement to the cops. This kid suddenly attacked me. Got it?
Wait, is this how it went down?
If you even try to say anything else, you know what'll happen to you, right?
Time to run. This is when you rabbit.
But...
This is BS.
Shut up. You're done for. You're gonna learn what happens when you cross me.
Okay, this is adding context I didn't know about.
Excuse me, folks. We received a complaint about an argument here. Is something the matter? Oh, it's you, sir.
So what happened? Explain it to the good officer.
That young man suddenly attacked him. He shoved this gentleman to the ground. And this man got injured.
That's how we got
It's
in
as she
trouble.
says. Also, make sure you deal with this so my name isn't mentioned at all.
What are you, a Jedi? Make sure you deal with this.
You understand what that means, correct?
Yes, sir. Hey, cuff him. Understood.
Just listening to it pisses me off.
Me too.
God damn it! You got an assault on your record just for that.
The woman sounds quite horrible as well.
Whatever. Baldy, pass me a sensu bean.
What, do you think I'm just giving these away?
Sriracha.
Because I'm not.
That man is just the kind of person whose heart we should steal. Who is he? And where can we find him?
Never got a name. I don't know.
You can't remember, huh? Well, it was at night, and I'm sure you were in shock after getting arrested.
Yeah, I bet.
I understand all too well the pain of not being able to remember important details of your life.
The victim's personal information is always kept secret. Identifying that man will prove difficult. Besides, the courts already made their ruling, didn't they? Even if we manage to get revenge, his past record won't go away.
I can't stand it. This world is so messed up. The weak are left to fight for themselves while rotten adults get away with whatever they want.
And those in power don't do anything to help the situation.
Familiar complaints.
Can't we fix this, though? Nobody would even know. We just need to show the world what true justice is. We'll make them come to their senses.
Yeah, but then we're just going to have a people like Akechi on the news to turn everybody against us.
You're right,
I'm not saying it's hopeless. You should still fight the good fight, but it's not going to be as simple as you portray it.
So, sounds good to me. The flashier our missions are, the cooler we end up looking.
Don't go for Flash.
You've all taught me so much.
What are you guys getting all excited about?
Nothing, Rip Van Winkle.
Did we wake you up?
Nah, not really. I've been up for a while now. Still, this weird feeling came over me while I was listening to you guys. It almost feels like I've known you all forever. Do you think it's because our backgrounds are so similar?
Yeah, it was a sriracha bean.
Well, it sure ain't because of anything good.
Similar, huh? I'm the only one who doesn't fit in. I don't have any past to look back on. No memories.
What do you mean? We could search the whole world and we wouldn't find a bigger misfit than you. And the reason we're going to Mementos is to get your memories back, right?
Oh yeah, Mementos. That place I haven't visited since we were forced to go there.
I'm sure your past will be just as troubled as ours.
No doubt.
Who doesn't have strife in their lives?
We'll see about that.
I actually feel like I've known Morgana for a really long time, too. It's so strange. I can't really put it into words.
Look, I'm helping you guys out for my own sake. Don't get me wrong. If you don't get stronger, investigating Mementos won't be anything but a pipe dream.
That sure was
I
a quick
probably
turnaround.
should go to Mementos
1
at
second
some
you're
point to
depressed, the
level a
next
little
you're acting
bit.
all tough.
All joking
But
aside, let's take this seriously. We should go as far with it as we can.
The thing that's difficult about Persona is that there's so many things you can do on a day-to-day basis, but every activity advances the clock. So it becomes almost like this custom a la carte experience, and it's hard to know what you should do. There is a way to play through the game and achieve 100% in a single playthrough, but you have to follow a plan. Like, on this day you do this, on the next day you do that, yada, 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 and on down the calendar it goes. So it becomes really intimidating to have that range of choice in front of you.
I want to punish those corrupt adults and give courage to people in trouble. Only we can do that.
What I've been focusing on for the past few Persona streams is building up confidants. That's why, like, anytime there's a confidant that's come up that I can talk to, I will talk to. And why I was so pissed on that one day when there were 3 and I had to choose one. And I chose the counselor because he builds fast and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, eventually I'm going to be done with that. Maybe. I don't know. We just keep adding more confidants. But it's interesting. You've got stats to build and jobs to do and movies and books to rent to build stats. And yeah. Good night, Arky. Thanks for hanging out.
Ha! You can say that again.
Being a member of the Phantom Thieves will surely help me grow, both as an artist and as a person.
Of course. You're under my tutelage, after all. There's nothing we can't accomplish.
Well, I hope we can keep this up. We should be all right with you as our leader.
Leave it to me.
Whoa, it's this late?
I guess now's a good time to call it for the night.
Are you all crashing here?
Oh, that reminds me. The owner said you're free to crash here, Yusuke.
She's moving quickly.
That's very kind of him.
You convinced him, didn't you? You go, Miss Older Dude Charmer.
She's exploiting a weakness.
What kind of nickname is that?
A poor one. The kind of one I would have come up with.
Take a bath.
There's a bathhouse nearby, so you can go there. I won't be able to join you, though.
What?
Oh, that sounds great. I want to come too. How about you, Juan?
Ryuji, don't be a perv.
You guys go on ahead. I should get going. Well, good night, Morgana.
Damn it. I need to turn back into a human soon.
She sold any of them yet?
I can't let her get taken by someone else.
Thank you.
Huge bathtubs really are the best. On's missing out.
I don't know. I can't compare it to a Japanese bathtub. I'm not familiar with them. I do love a good jacuzzi, though.
It's a bit hot, though.
Old guys like it hot for some reason. I'm sure he'll stop eventually. You know, I've been wondering for a while now.
He just keeps turning the hot water. Squeak.
But what do you think about On? As a girl, I mean.
Oh, dude, that sounds awesome. She's a great teammate.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Come on, can't you act a little more like a guy our age? Doesn't she at least look better than a celebrity?
I'll be sure to share what you've said with On.
That sounds awesome. It sounds legit like a hot tub.
Oh, please don't. Seriously?
That aside, we need to hurry and find our next target.
I mean, I'm sure if you're desperate, you could probably find one for a bathroom renovation or something.
About that, though, is targeting famous people enough?
And yes, I'm aware you don't live in a house. So it's probably not an option for someone, you know, in an apartment. But
seeing people's reactions these days has been making me think twice about what we do.
True. Pursuing only what's best in the short term may end up becoming fruitless for us.
I think we're starting to get there, Fix. With interest rates going up, I think that the housing market's starting to cool off. I don't know that it's ever going to go back down to prices that one would have considered sane 8 or 9 years ago, but I don't think I don't think there's a housing bubble that's bursting right now, but I definitely think it's going to stop growing like it has for a little while. Trust me, Ari and I have been looking for a home in Michigan for the past several months.
We need a strategy to appeal to the public.
These interest rates suck.
Oh? Well, what do you got in mind?
Do I look like someone who could come up with such a thing?
I was an idiot for asking. But I'm on offense duty, you know? And Morgana specializes in stuff about that world, so... Still... it's freaking hot! How much do you have to add until you're satisfied, Gramps? I can't stand it anymore! Anyways, let's meet up again early next week.
And he's still just adding hot water. All right.
Let's do it.
I need to call it a night here. I'm a little bit over time. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I really, really appreciate it.